Hey, how you doing, everybody? It's This talk is January 31st, 2019. Um, Political climate out there is absolutely insane. The agenda that's being pushed out there is absolutely insane, and you can't say anything about it. I've had videos taken off. They won't allow me to post videos. I'm gonna try to post this one, and I'm gonna keep doing it because this is a BS agenda. If you say if you say you're proud to be American, you're a nationalist. Say that I'm a proud male, then I'm a homophobic. I pulled a man card. I'm pulling it. I'm pulling the man card. I'm sorry because that's bullshit. You know, I'm proud to be American. I'm not a nationalist. I'm not. This dude goes to work every day. You know? These people sitting up on Capitol Hill have an agenda. We have an agenda too. Make sure we wake up on the right side of the dirt. That's our agenda. And in case you haven't noticed, a lot of us aren't. They want an androgynous world. They want everybody to be a frickin' hermaphrodite. Male card, sorry. Can't do it. Sorry. No, we were created perfect. With all our little flaws and all our little idiosyncrasies, we were created perfect. God don't make mistakes. Never did. Never will. It's crazy hearing me say it. It's absolutely insane. Family tried to prove God to me. Wouldn't buy it because they were proving it in that box, the box that they live in. I love them. I love them more than anything. I'll do anything for my family. They got the wrong idea on God, though. You know, religion and God are not the same thing. You say you're proud to be white, you're racist. Proud to be American, you're a nationalist. Proud to be a man, you're a homophobic. You know, why do people think that we're not the best? Check the history out. Americans have done everything better. Simple. Everything that has ever been done, an American stepped up to the plate and did it better. Simple as that. Nobody has ever done anything better than an American. And I'm not ashamed to say it. That doesn't make me a nationalist. That makes me a good statistician. That's what it makes. Because the statistics show that we're the best. I wish more people believed it. Look around. We could do anything. It's these androgynous assholes on Capitol Hill that got the money doing what it does. What it does is it put a fence around you. That's what money does. Money doesn't do a damn thing. It sits in your wallet. It's just a piece of paper. It's nothing. It doesn't exist. People do shit. People build things. You don't need money to build a house. You need people, hammers, and nails. That's what you need. People, hammers, and nails, man. You understand? Money don't do shit. Capitol Hill wants you to believe that money does everything. Nah. Our scientific community and our political community, it's all the same. It's all one agenda. Make us weak. If we're passive, if we're weak, then the androgynous trans agenda can move through easier. Because nobody wants to say nothing to hurt no one's feelings. Go fuck yourself. How's that sound? I'm trying to cut down my language, but guess what? You people are freaking soft. You guys are soft as duck shit. Check my record. Look what I walked through. And I did it with less help than anyone you know. Now, people sit around, oh, I got it rough, I had it rough. I walked away several times from this reality because it's fake. I got away. I lived under a bridge twice. And I had a home to go to. I was welcome in the home, and I wouldn't. So what did I do? I lived for months on the street in a sleeping bag, in the open, no roof, under a bridge, on a mattress. And I made it through. I'm vertical. I'm still on this side of the dirt. I've been through some stuff. I've seen some things. Had a lot of time to think. Americans are the best. America produced me. And if you would ever walk a half a mile in the shoes I walked, a half a mile, you'd have no doubt that Americans are the greatest thing to ever hit this planet. Because it's our ingenuity that built this world. But it's Capitol Hill's ingenuity that's tearing it down around you. It's not us. If it didn't cost anything and we could just walk down to Home Depot, we'd all be living in nice houses, believe me. If they removed money, it might be chaotic for a few years. But people will go back to work. People will have babies. And the sun will pass overhead. It will. Please, Americans, use your God-given senses. Go outside. Think about what's going on around you. A freaking last president referred to his wife as Michael. Michael's penis popped out on Ellen. Come on. Joan Rivers dies 7 days after saying that Michelle's a transgender and Barack's the first gay president. Then she just dies. 7 days later. Every time somebody says something, they die. I'm getting censored. Who the hell am I? I'm a guy who makes videos for his immediate friends that nobody watches. None of them watch them. None of them watch these. Everybody's happy in their fantasy. They'd rather stay asleep. They would rather stay asleep, man, because I'll tell you what. When I woke up, it caused a relapse. It did. I relapsed for a couple weeks. I did. I went crazy. None of my information was wrong. I just didn't handle it properly. I couldn't process it. Total mind fart, bro. Screwed me up. Yeah, I went loopy. Went to jail. Hey. But I got separated from it. Put in a cell. And I got to work it out. I worked through it. And I'm still vertical. I was asleep for 20-something years with a needle in my arm. When I stuck the needle in, America was the best place in the world. When I took it out, you got trans kids on television. 8 and 9-year-old kids. Boy saying that he's not a boy, he's a girl. You know, I was that age too, right? Tootsie, right? Dustin Hoffman's movie, that was on. Bosom Buddies was on television. The guys that dress like girls. You know what we didn't talk about? None of us in school? Boy, I think I'm a girl. Think I'm gonna come in dressed in high heels and sequins tomorrow. That shit is fantasy. It's Hollywood planting messages in your head. Alright, I apologize, people. Friend just knocked at the door and lost his phone. Alright, anyway. Alright. I lost it. The muse has passed. But please look into this stuff. Please watch my videos, man. I woke up and everybody else was fucking asleep, man. I finally want to face the world. And I'm alone again. You know, I spent my life separated from everybody. Separate from. So I changed my ways and I come out of that stupor, man, and the world around me, I don't want to be a part of that. I still don't want to be a part of it. I was them. And I realized it's wrong. It's freaking wrong. It's not star-spangled awesome. It's not. It's not star-spangled awesome. It used to be. And the voters, guys, like these people we're putting in office. In a democratic republic, you should never have to vote for the lesser of two evils. All right, we don't want Donald Trump, but we really don't want Hillary Clinton. Well, then how the hell did they get there if the people don't want either of them? People don't get that? You think we actually have a say in this shit? Then why didn't anyone want either of the fucking candidates? They just chose Donald Trump because Hillary is the frickin' devil. Quoted. All right, it's not the way it is, man. Democracy is not what we are supposed to have here. Read it. You people don't ever read. You think you read when you see the bold print under a picture. Never the article, the bold print under a picture. That's it. That's the result of your reading. And stop signs. Read the book that all these scholars are writing. Read them. Because if I read the book and you don't, I can explain it to you with whatever facts I choose to use out of that book to make that story say anything I want it to. You know, words are important. They are extremely important. Until the 1900s, less than 15% of the people prior to the 1900s could not read. 15% of the population, only 15 could read. Less than 15% of the population could read a book before 1900. It's the truth. It's absolutely the truth. Public schools didn't start until the 30s. They didn't start building them up. They used buildings that were schools, but they weren't for the public. Oh, no, no. They were for the rich. They were for the wealthy. They were for them Capitol Hill assholes. Schools. Normal people were born, raised to a certain age, and then they went to work with mom and dad to help. And those people, not the Capitol Hill assholes, no. Those people that couldn't read, could not read, what they did is they built the greatest economy, right? The most free, the greatest country ever. The people that couldn't read did that. They built this. They didn't even know how to read. They built this. And then everybody learned how to read. And the wizards that wrote the books spell their words. The wizards casted their spell. They spell all their words. And what do? They place their sentence upon you. Belief stems from belie. Belie means to believe a factor that doesn't have to be the truth. To believe the lie and make the lie the truth. That is what the root of belief is. To take the truth out, put a lie in there, and base an entire thought process off of that lie. It's a thought experiment. Belief is a thought experiment. And we practice it every day. After books, what did they do? Movies. Radio. Radio was next. And then the movies. Right? Where does it all come from? Where's all the movies come from? Hollywood. Hollywood, California, right? We all know that. Did you know that magic wands are made of Hollywood? In divining and casting spells? Read Harry Potter. Read any Wiccan anything. Anything on Wicca, they'll tell you about the holly bush. That's the devil's tree, baby. Hey, they call Hollywood, and it takes its name from the original place, which is in Tuscany in Italy. That's the original Hollywood. Right? The Roman Empire. How many people know what Tartaria is? None of you. Tartar, aside from the yellow stuff that you get on your teeth from smoking. See? Now, I just made that joke, right? But that joke right there is what triggered the memory. Because I heard the word tartar, and I remember my cousin Turkey and me playing Risk, rolling the dice and playing Risk in the house when we were little kids. And he used to make the joke, yeah, tartar, tartar. He used to say it all the time. Because that was the Tartarian Empire on the board game Risk. And do you know what the Tartarian Empire is? It's the largest empire ever. Ever. It's bigger than the Roman Empire. It's bigger than the British Empire. It's bigger than the Chinese Empire. It's bigger than every empire. The Mongolian, bigger. The Mongolians, the Romans, the Constantine, they were all Tartarians. It wasn't a whole bunch of different empires. It was one big one. The Tartarian Empire. Do your history. Read your books. I read enough. How come we're not taught about Tartary? It's the largest, most powerful empire ever in the history of the world. But we hear about Canaan that's like the size of my block. We know all about that. We know all about the Greek Empire. We know all about the Phoenicians. Micro-Americans, Micronesia. We could tell you everything about people from Papua New Guinea. Right? The termites, eating termites off of reeds and shit. We know about their history. But none of us have ever been taught a damn thing about Tartary, which is here. America. I'm sorry, but America's the capital of Tartaria. Look at early pictures of San Francisco in 1854. They say San Francisco was founded in 1850. In 1854, there was over 1 million houses. Wasn't even that many people in the country. Oh yeah, they're there. The photographs absolutely exist. They're in the Library of Congress, but you'd never know it because you have to read to find them. You have to look for things, even though nobody on television is telling you that you need to look. Nobody knows that the government just offered an apology to the Bin Laden family for the wrongful accusation of Osama bin Laden in 9/11. Nobody knows that. It wasn't on television, it wasn't in the newspaper, it wasn't on the radio. It didn't pop up on my Facebook. It wasn't on Twitter. It wasn't. You know where it is? It's on CIA.gov. Not on a lefty or a righty conspiracy channel. No, it's on CIA.gov. And none of you know it. I do. Yet 95% of the population's walking out there going, I'm glad we got that Osama. The guy was fantasy. He never existed. He was not. He was a 6'7" kidney dialysis patient in a cave. Kicked our ass. That's what you want me to believe. We can't find a 6'7" yellow son of a gun with a beard this freaking big walking out of a cave. We can't find this dude. But we can find bacteria on Mars. The fuck out of here, man. Come on, man. Use your freaking heads. They're making up a story. They're using it in little towns. They're seeing how the people in the little town react, and then they go national with it. Or they dump it. If it doesn't have the right effect. If it doesn't do what it's supposed to do in that little tiny town, that little microcosm, they don't put it in the mainstream. I wish you people would read. I really do. Not conspiracy novels. No. I'm talking about read Albert Pike, Morals and Dogma. Read that. Huh? Read the Kabbalion. Read the Hermetic Philosophy by Manly P. Hall. Read something. Read the freaking newspaper. Read something. Get started. Exercise your brain because it's atrophying. You argue on their behalf. You argue on the behalf of Capitol Hill. They don't even have to say shit to me. I got my friends around me telling me that I'm an asshole and I'm wrong and I should keep my mouth shut. They're going to kill you. Who's going to kill me? Who the hell am I? I'm just a dude with a good classical education. I'm well read, and I got my ears and eyes open. That's all. That's all I am. I got my ears and eyes open. I don't miss shit, man. I don't miss nothing. I might not broadcast it. I might not report that I know it. But it's in there. And when I need to use it, I use it. And I need to use it now. Because there ain't no reason we should have an 8 or 9-year-old transgender on television. I give a shit about my little brothers and sister. Alright? I give a shit about my little cousins. I give a shit about your kids. And your cousins and your nephews too. It's not fair. We didn't have to live through this shit. We didn't have to go through this as a little kid. We didn't. It's not fair to them. And you're still propagating it. Put yourself in your kids' shoes. Imagine having to go to school with boys and girls, a urinal and a pee station and a toilet sitting right next to it. Boys and girls in the same bathroom in 8th grade. When things start changing. You don't see a problem with it now? Asexual bathrooms? No problem with it? Well, we'll see when we got some 13s, 12s, 11s, and 10-year-olds coming home pregnant. We're breeding welfare babies. That's what we're doing. I'm sorry. Got this Nancy Pelosi asshole chick saying that, oh, a wall will be ineffective. It won't work in America. It worked in China. Works in Israel. Works in freaking Mexico. Right? It worked for Sodom and Gomorrah until he had enough. But it worked. It worked for the Roman Empire. Worked for the Greek empires. I'll tell you what. Sacsayhuaman, Machu Picchu, Teotihuacan. It worked for all of them. And it worked perfectly. I'm going to tell you what. If it worked for them, we're going to do it 100 times better. Because we're Americans. And I know there ain't nobody in the world that could do something better than I can. If I'm devoted to it. If you focus on it, there ain't nothing you can't do. You got to stop believing the bullshit narrative that we can't. We can't. Nah, I can't shit a golden egg. I can't. That I can't do. I can't turn water to wine. I can't. I can build anything. I can operate anything. Anything. I can fly it, drive it, sail it. Yep. And all of us can. You know why? Because those people from back in the day that couldn't read books and do math, right, didn't know what economy was, right? They used their God-given senses. And they did everything. Without public school education. Without private school education. Education equals indoctrination. That's all it is. That's all education is. It doesn't tell you the truth. It tells you to believe. Believe what I'm teaching you is the truth. Be lie. Etymology. Look up the origins of words. Because they're definitely weapons. Words are weapons and they operate and they function and they affect on a level that we do not comprehend. We don't understand it. But they called it spelling for a reason. If they had no concept of the word metaphor, why did they call it spelling? They didn't do it as metaphor. They knew they were casting a spell over their audience, the people that are hearing it. Now, if you add the visual component into the auditory, you know what you get? Hollywood magic. You want to prove that the world spins? Science ain't going to get you there. If you want to prove that the earth is a ball spinning 24,995 mile circumference sphere, science can't get you there. It can't. If you want to believe that there's a moon that's 237,000 miles away, and in 1969, with technology dumber than your wristwatch, science can't, never could, and never will get you there. Math will. On paper. Math can do anything with transformative equations. Look it up. Math can do it. But reality can't. Math is not science. You need math to do scientific experiments. You do. But math does not equal science. You could do anything with math because it's just a language. That's all it is. It's a language. It's words. I could tell any story I want out of my mouth with my words because my vocabulary is pretty high. I could tell any story I want. Make it up however I want. That's math. That's the pseudoscientific community that we have. They say science can be measured, observed, and repeated. That is the scientific method. Quantifiable, measurable, observable, you could see it, and repeatable. You could do that shit again. Show me water sticking to the outside of a ball. They claim that flat Earth is pseudoscience. But no test, none, not zero, absolutely zero tests have ever shown curvature or motion. None. Never has. None of them. You know what showed curvature and motion? Math on a piece of paper. So if you can't see it, you can't measure it, you can't detect it, and you can't repeat it, all it is a suggestion. It's not science. It's an idea. It's a belief. Belief. That's what it is. It's not real. It's not real. You cannot be on a sphere. It's not conducive to life. Every 6 months, 12 noon would switch.